Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope you guys all had an amazing day yesterday as we are rolling into a Friday. And remember, on Fridays, we sometimes have some sort of a market sell-off. As this morning, we're up just a little bit in the S&P. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you are a returning visitor, smash that like button, throw the thumbs up, lets the computers know that people are here. Doesn't take long to do it, but it means a lot. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. S&P's up 4 points this morning. So yesterday we were looking at the S&P, and we had some nice moves off of our identified levels. So we had a 15-minute level up here, which was a wick over wick level below a pivot high. And it actually came in and gave a perfect move away from that zone. And yesterday when we were doing the class, we were not quite there. And so the concept was just be patient and wait for price to come into the level. So the support level worked out brilliantly as we got, the supply level worked out brilliantly. And then it moved down to the demand level, which we talked about in class. So both levels from yesterday's live trade room were pretty effective levels. So hopefully you were able to capitalize on those moves. Now, the 15-minute demand level, we got a nice little move away. And then after 6 candles, it had kind of done not a whole lot. So at that point, the idea is to move your stop to break even. So you should actually still be in this trade. There's no reason to have gotten out at this point. You may have taken some off the table at this first target level here. But for now, because these were both 15-minute levels, I'm going to remove both of them. They both worked pretty well, but I need to remove them at this point. Now, I'm very conscious of the fact that on Friday afternoons recently, we've been getting some Friday afternoon sell-offs. So be aware of Friday afternoon sell-offs and what they can do. But, I think that short that we had yesterday was our short as close to the all-time high as maybe we're going to get. And so now we've got, this is our all-time high line. We got, that last little short off of there. Maybe we get another one here. I don't know, but I think it's probably better to be a little bit more cautious. Towards the end of the day today, you may get a decent setup for a potential breakdown. I would look for that today. NASDAQ, price didn't come into our level in the NASDAQ as we are still kind of in between our major levels of demand and supply. So not a whole lot to add as the NASDAQ's been chopping sideways. And I have spoken to some traders that are doing iron condors on these NASDAQ markets. If you're not trading options, I would say that this is a great time to learn. Options are a really, really good vehicle to be able to take advantage of sideways markets. But there's really nothing for me to add on my trade analysis here because we're in between zones. Crude oil. So in crude oil yesterday, we talked about this little area here, and the talk track was price can break either direction when you have that kind of triangular move, and we broke out. This is a double top setup. We broke out to the downside, and it ran down, gave a nice little run. But crude oil was one of them yesterday. We looked at the iron condor, and it stayed right smack dab in the middle of the lane. So you're going to have traders that today use this and say, well, if it breaks above here, we go long. If it breaks below here, we go short. And I'm okay looking at that so long as I have enough basing around it. So keep an eye on that one for today, maybe as an opportunity as well. Gold, yesterday's gold trade off the 15-minute level. This was what I felt was kind of our better level yesterday. We got this little move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 6 candles, we had a little bit of a move away, and so you can kind of stay with it, get a little run. We came and gave another touch later on in the afternoon, and it rallied up pretty much in the rest of the day. So now 15-minute chart, I need to remove that level. We've actually just had a pretty decent sell-off here in the last 15 minutes or so, recording this close to about 7 a.m. Central Time. You may want to look at up here, which is the origin of a speed candle as a potential for a reversal. Diving into our bonds and currency markets as we kind of take a look and see what's there. In the ZN, our 10-year note, I'm going to kind of go through these fairly quickly because we're in between our levels of demand and supply. Nothing to add in the ZN from what we'd had prior. The Aussie, we are sitting above what could be a potential breakdown level. I'd need some basing in front of that zone before a potential breakdown out of here. But we still have our supply and demand levels in play on this one. Our supply level somewhere up in here off of this pivot area, and then our demand levels down below. The euro has been between our levels now for a couple of days, and there's no reason to force a trade. We've actually seen some fairly nice swings in here, and if you really want to take it one step further, we are getting technically lower highs, and so possibly you're going to get a breakdown opportunity in here somewhere. Right now, I don't feel like it's worth forcing or trying to jump in on something. Although I think that maybe some of those upper wicks that we've got on that hourly chart, they are a bit more attractive for potential reversals. This area right up in here. Okay. And that's got to be a 15-minute level, so let me change the color on this. All right, so purple lines indicate what level type we have. And then our Canadian dollar, that level worked out pretty well yesterday. We got a nice little move into the level. Now, there was some basing before the level, so you may or may not have taken this with this bit of basing here kind of scaring you off, but then we got a little move away from that zone. As we've seen our Canadian dollar levels actually respecting and doing pretty well. As far as from looking forward, this level here is pretty clean, but it's a retest of this area here, so I'm going to leave this be. And there's nothing I want to add to this particular market. So with that being said, I'm going to turn this thing off for the weekend. Do me a favor, shoot me an email, support@tradersarmy.com if there's any questions or anything I can help you with in the future. But until tomorrow, everybody, I hope you have a great weekend. I will see y'all Sunday night in our live trade room. Have a great day. See ya.